Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is FirstReactionTV. My name is Jmart, and we have a special video for you today of Lori Lightfoot and all of the crazy things that she said and done over the last 4 years of her position as being mayor in Chicago. So please subscribe. Subscribe button is on the timeline on the menu, or you can go down in the description, and please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you watch till the end.
And to every kid who felt like I did when I grew up. And I'm going to do that again tonight. I told you back then that anything is possible.
Rioters set cars on fire throughout downtown. They overturned squad cars, set squad cars on fire. In one confrontation in River North, protesters surrounded a single officer before he was able to get into his vehicle and get away. Police Superintendent David Brown says people threw rocks, bottles, Molotov cocktails at officers. One officer, he says, suffered multiple broken bones.
Believe that you can bring about change. Believe that you matter. And believe that you can love who you want to love and do what you want to do and be who you want to be.
Do a fair job of covering you.
A lot of us reporters that are here, we worked so hard to get back to Chicago. We sacrificed more than I think people will ever know. And so why? No, it's well. All right, I'm just asking, what do you suggest that we do?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
I mean, what, because you want more black and brown reporters, and I understand that, but what do you suggest that we do?
I don't think this is a question for you. I will not be defined by how you fall.
We have Michigan Avenue, the magnificent miles now referred to as the Mile of Fear. The Water Tower Place has thrown the keys back to the lender. They say they don't want to be in Chicago anymore. Real Chicagoans are asking me, how could you possibly even consider running for re-election as mayor of the city of Chicago after all the harm you've caused?
Well, I disagree with you fundamentally, and I don't think I need to address any and dignify your comments 1 second further. Next question.
Hi, Tucker. This was a conference call on Sunday, May 31st, to talk about Chicago's response to the widespread looting. On the call were Mayor Lori Lightfoot and all 50 Chicago aldermen and alderwomen, including Alderman Raymond Lopez, one of the mayor's harshest critics. Now, for context, on the day of the conference call, Chicago had 699 arrests, mostly looters. 132 officers were injured. There were 48 shootings, 17 homicides, and Alderman Lopez accused the mayor of being underprepared as the looting spread, saying his ward had become a virtual war zone.
We have the responsibility to review this process, a failed process, and an administration that is more worried about campaign contributions than doing the right thing for the city of Chicago.
You are out of order. You are out of order.
Out of order,
and you are a liar. You are a liar, sir, and you are out of order. I sit here and I will not tolerate you besmirching the hard work of so many people who have worked in this. You may not agree. You may not agree, then vote no. But I will not sit here silently while you besmirch my reputation and the people that work for me from your pettiness of the things that you're trying to do that expose this city to liability, sir. You are out of order. Now, you can express your comments and your views, but you will not tear down the integrity of people who are working just as hard as you are. That is absolutely unacceptable.
It is unacceptable to deny the right of answers to a community. Where would we address the issue of predatory practices of casino operators? We asked for a plan, Mayor Lightfoot, a plan to address that issue. That's what we need to hear from you. Not a plan that is going to be discussed after the fact.
You are out of order and you are lying. Almost every word that comes out of your mouth after you say your name is a lie. You need to stop, sir.
I'm not stopping because I have the right to speak. I am enough of discrimination.
You are a liar, sir.
I have every right to speak as any other colleague. Enough is enough.
Yeah, enough is enough.
But we're going to talk about the facts.
Cease and desist.
Everything I said here is a fact.
Please cease and desist. The chair recognizes Alderwoman Haddon.
It's a shame and a disservice of the city of Chicago.
You've said your piece, sir.
I did. And I hope the city of Chicago remembers this. 2023.
Rob and Judy, it's looking more and more like we could be heading for another round of council wars. The mayor's allies calling for a vote on Celia Meza to be the next corporation council, only to have Alderman Ray Lopez and Jeanette Taylor quickly motion to delay the vote in a procedural move. It all went downhill from there.
When do we stop playing the game of mistreating people in our community? So this ain't about that. And so I second Alderman Lopez.
Angered by the law department's move to dismiss the lawsuit filed by Anjanette Young after the wrongful raid on her home, Jeanette Taylor joining Alderman Ray Lopez, effectively blocking a motion to approve Celia Meza, seated here next to the mayor, as the new corporation counsel.
This looks like a last-minute drive-by.
In a highly unusual move, the mayor then left the dais to confront Taylor face to face, the two exchanging words and pointing fingers, Taylor not having any of it, not backing down.
What did she say to you? We saw her with her.
Just basically, I cut out a Latinx woman. I cut out a woman of color, DP in this. No, I didn't. This is to teach you a lesson about you have to work with us.
I saw the whole thing and I couldn't believe it, and I want to know who allowed and why would they allow her to go back there?
The mayor's floor leader, Michelle Harris, a short time later motioning to adjourn the meeting, which was quickly appealed, leading to more confusion and frustration.
I have considered your appeal, and I've denied it. We're going to Alderman Harris. I am grateful to the millions of Chicagoans who came together as we made tough decisions, saw the struggles of our frontline workers, and beat back a deadly pandemic. Part of this is obviously due to COVID, because every part of our public safety infrastructure has been directly and dramatically affected by COVID-19. This is how it's going to be. We will shut you down, we will cite you, and if we need to, we will arrest you and we will take you to jail, period. There should be nothing unambiguous about that. Don't make us treat you like a criminal. But if you act like a criminal and you violate the law and you refuse to do what is necessary to save lives in the city in the middle of a pandemic, we will take you to jail, period.
Let's do our part, let's stick together, let's stay home and help save lives.
The mayor also says warm weather is no excuse to congregate in parks or on streets. She also plans on enforcing social distancing at stores that remain open while the stay-at-home order is in effect.
We are sending inspectors out. We will demand that you do this, and if you do not, we will shut you down. You will be defined by how hard you work and how much you do good for other people.
This evening.
I'm grateful that we worked together to remove a record number of guns off our streets, reduced homicides, and started making real progress on public safety.
Officers wearing right gear clashed with protesters also outside the Wrigley building. The city lifted bridges, including the Michigan Avenue Bridge. Mayor Lori Lightfoot held a news conference last night in announcing a curfew, which expired at 6 this morning. She says watching all of this, she felt total disgust.
Mayor Lightfoot, I can totally understand why you would think another $100 million in grants would buy you the votes necessary to win re-election. But the business experts and...
This is okay, folks. This is what he's like. He works for a right-wing news organization, and he does this kind of stuff all the time. You feel free. Go ahead, sir.
The business experts and the crime experts that I talk to say that downtown Chicago has already reached the tipping point. You have...
Get your questions, sir. We go through this every single time that you come.
The Palmer House...
I don't need a speech. What I need is your question. If you're going to ask a question,
absolutely,
ask it. If you're not going to ask it, then we're going to be done and take a picture.
The Palmer House is already in foreclosure. Other historic downtown hotels, foreclosure. We have business owners that are shortening their hours because their workers are afraid to work after dark. You went on a taxpayer-funded, this is a
I'm
very
gonna
important
ask you
question.
I'm going to ask you one
It's a
last
very
time.
important
I'm gonna
question.
ask you one last time.
Chicagoans
Get
are
your
asking
question.
me to
Get
ask
your
you.
question, or we're going to move on.
Absolutely.
You don't get to give a 5-minute speech
Well,
every single time.
I've sat here for an hour or two listening to speeches. I don't understand why. This is a question that the people of Chicago want to ask.
Ask the question, or we're turning off your mic.
Absolutely.
Ask the question.
Right. You went on a taxpayer-funded business trip to Paris, a party in Paris with your donors.
Please ask your question, William.
What is the actual plan now? Okay, we have crime is up, arrests are down, suicides,
crime is not up,
police
sir.
suicides
You tell
spiking. What is your plan, finally, at long last? At long last, what is your plan to stop violent crime?
No, let me respond.
Please.
Sir,
And then I have a follow-up. And then I have a follow-up.
A very chaotic scene at the hospital. Mass confusion, all while families are trying to figure out who was alive or not. We now know 3 people, including 2 children, have died. According to the medical examiner's office, 13-year-old William Smith, 1-year-old Amara Hall, and 19-year-old Nasir Hall were all killed last night when the white SUV they were driving in on I-57 came under fire. Illinois State Police say 6 people were driving in the northbound lanes near 115th Street when shots were fired around 10:30 p.m.
React to this poll that was just out this week on the mayor's race. It does show that you have a steep climb. Can you share what you see as your path and what polling you've done that refutes this premise?
Well, here's what I would say. About 4 years ago this time.
You weren't the mayor then, Mayor.
About 4 years ago this time, if you let me finish.
But you're comparing.
No. You asked me a question and I'm answering. Do you want me to answer?
Sure.
4 years ago this time, polling showed that I was about 1%. And, there were bigger names in, more money, and here I sit. Fast forwarding now, somebody took a poll for their preferred candidate. You all need to ask, did they simulate a real campaign? Did they run negatives against that? Well, as I understand it, they won't release the crosstabs and show what this was done. And I think there's some question about the methodology of that poll. Look, you're going to see and hear all sorts of stuff between now and February 28th. What I'm focused on is doing my job, making the case for why I deserve 4 more years as mayor. And I hope what you all do is anybody who says, I'm the front runner, I can beat the mayor, ask them, have they done the work to challenge with their negatives and simulated a campaign? And because I know what the answer to that is. And I feel very confident in my chances for re-election. Obviously, we didn't win the election today. It has nothing to do about you, Craig, with due respect, or anybody else. What it has to do about is the facts. And the facts is that when I look out at across this podium, as I'm doing now, I don't see much in the way of diversity. The fact that the City Hall press corps is overwhelmingly white, has very little in the way of diversity, is an embarrassment.
Leave a comment in the link. Thanks for watching.